Hi everybody, and welcome to your monthly reading by sign. Let's take a look at who is next. We have Pisces. Welcome, Pisces. Don't forget to check out your moon and rising sign for a more complete view of the month, or you may find this month resonates more for you in another placement. Okay, which deck can I use for Pisces? Okay, we're going to go with the Margaret Peterson Tarot. Pisces. Alright, so for the month of May, we have a full moon lunar eclipse happening in tropical Scorpio, your sister water sign. Otherwise, it's at 22 Libra in sidereal. We also have Mercury retrograde. It'll be station direct on May 14th. Won't be out of the shadow till the end of the month, though. And then we have a new moon in Taurus in both sidereal and tropical astrology, and that'll be happening on May 19th. So let's see what Pisces can expect for the month of May. All right. Underneath the deck, ooh, the Wheel of Fortune, the Wheel of Life. Fantastic. Right, the Hierophant's peeking out there, so that's the card of Taurus. All right. Jupiter energy, expansion. Beautiful. What are we expanding, Pisces? First card is the Daughter of Feathers, or the Page of Swords. Okay. Next, the Three of Flames, Three of Wands. Blessings coming in, especially with the Wheel of Fortune there. Six of Flames, victory, success. Okay. Two of Coins. And the High Priestess, another two. Okay. Well, with the fiery energy of creation here in the 3 and 6 of Wands, we have Aries and Leo there. It definitely feels like something we're celebrating, something creative that you're working on is taking hold. It's expanding. Something you've meditated on, you've envisioned this for quite some time, thought about, maybe journaled about it, writing it into being, or drawing out sketches, plans, even plans for a home or a foundation or something you want to build or create. But it's like your dreams are really taking foot here in the month of May. You're starting to take the initial steps to bring that vision from the ether into reality. And you could be partnering up with somebody in order to make this happen. 2 or 3 people joining together. Someone maybe you're communicating online with at this time, getting estimates, feeling people out, seeing what they can offer, how they can contribute, using your senses to lead you to the most resonant characters. Okay. I think some of you will form, though, lifelong bonds this month with new people. If you haven't met them, could be again Aries or Leo or Capricorn. But the moon cycles are also going to be very important for you this month. We have the High Priestess card ruled by the moon. And also I'm looking at the figure 8 that is displayed in the 2 of Coins card. It's in the traditional deck too, like an infinity sign, but it makes me think of the Analema, the path of the sun and the moon. There's a red foot and a blue foot there. So they're opposites, they're balancing. But also it's the Ouroboros eating its tail, the snake. And we have the full moon in tropical Scorpio. So that is, there's 3 phases to that. There's the scorpion, the serpent, and the eagle as it evolves. So the serpent is a transitional phase as Scorpio rules the house of death and rebirth. And the wheel of life, it never stops, right? It's perpetual as well. So there's a flux of energy here that is infinite. It's everlasting, unbreakable. Could be legacy status, things that are timeless. All right. They'll be written about, shared, take a look at the astrology for the month of May. It's too many. Well, now I'm curious. No. All right, they'll come back out if they're meant to. For Pisces. But definitely the Three of Wands, ships coming in, the Six of Wands, victory. You could be returning home, or somebody could be returning home from far away, maybe that you've only been communicating with online for a while. I say that and flip over the air card. So somebody flying to see you, or you seeing them. There's a distance there. There was something intangible that's, like I said, being brought into the tangible, into the physical. I can't believe it. Underneath this deck we have Jupiter. Grow and expand. So that was the Wheel of Fortune that began this reading. All right, so first card, South Node, destined to release. Next, House 12. This is your house. The end of the cycle, spirituality, transcendence, karma, sacrificial service, and healing. Okay. So once you're done with something, you release it, right? It's come full circle. Leo, self-confidence, loyalty, and creativity. Okay, so the Six of Wands is Jupiter in Leo, so that's why I brought that up. And we have Jupiter twice now. And finally, the North Node. Ooh, North and South Node in one reading. That's interesting. All right, so let go of one, end one thing, and begin another. House 8. Okay, that Scorpio vibe I was getting from the snake. Shedding of the skin, the death and rebirth, and the moon. Satisfy emotional needs, nurture self and others. So Pisces, this is the card that you rule in this deck, is the moon. All right, it's the unknown, it's the hidden, it's the unseen. Same with the House 12, and also with the High Priestess. She's keeper of secrets. She is the gatekeeper. All right. So I'd love to see what it is you're working on, but I think you're keeping that a secret. But that's good. I mean, you do want to keep things under wraps that way, or else they'll never manifest. If you do share them or talk about them too much, then it loses its power. It really does. There is a power in secrecy, to keeping your next move close to your chest. That way it has the most impact when it does come out, and it'll be ready when it comes out. Also, it's not corruptible that way. People don't see what you're doing, then they can't interfere with their energy or their input, or even if it's an enemy, they might try to seek to corrupt your progress subconsciously, energetically, or physically. So things are best left unsaid. Let's see what we have for your animal medicine this month. But whatever it is, it's growing inside you. It's like you're pregnant with an idea. I mean, you may be physically pregnant, but if you're not, or that's not what you're looking to do, it's definitely this idea that's growing inside of you. It's gaining form, like as a baby develops in the womb. Yeah, there's a hawk underneath there, number 2. Things taking flight. Or hawk eyes. Hawks have incredible vision. Any bird of prey, really. And so do Pisces, as they can see things from far away. Now we have the whale, a very watery creature, much like yourself, Pisces, the 2 fish. So let's see what the whale says. Now 41 is the 13th prime number. 13 is typically the death card in tarot, ruled by Scorpio, and we have 2 indications of Scorpio here. So again, or maybe you're going to release something shortly after the lunar eclipse. That's when this project is coming to maturity. All right, the whale, let's read about that. I know it has to do with the throat chakra. All right, the title of this card is Record Keeper, and I was feeling that again with the Page of Swords here, the writing down. I was looking at that feather and thinking it looks like a quill for, they used to write with pens that were big feathers. So, whale is very much like a swimming library. Whale carries the history of Mother Earth and is said to have been placed here by the ancients from dog star Sirius. Biologists say that whale is a mammal and very possibly lived on land millions of years ago. In tribal legend, whales' move into the ocean happened when the earth shifted and Lemuria, the motherland, went below the waves. All of our petroglyphs speak of the motherland, Mu, and the disaster that brought the red race to North America and from the west beyond the great waters. The symbols in the petroglyphs speak of the rivers and mountains crossed by our ancestors when they sought solid ground as the water receded. We saw the events that led to the settling of Turtle Island, which is North America, and has kept the records and knowledge of the motherland alive. It is said that Mu will rise again when the fire comes from the sky and lands in another ocean of Mother Earth. The native medicine people are waiting for this event as the next sign of Earth changes. Earth's children will have to unite and honor all ways and all races in order to survive. Whale medicine people are coded in their DNA to understand the sound frequencies can break up records of the memories of ancient knowledge. They are usually clairaudient or able to hear both very low and very high frequencies. They are usually also psychically developed and fairly telepathic. Well, that's speaking of Pisces, absolutely. Many times, however, they are not awakened to their gifts until it is time to use the stored records. Many whale medicine people are able to tap into the universal mind of Great Spirit and have no idea how or why they know what they know. It sounds like the Akashic records to me. It's like remembering your past lives. Only later, when they receive confirmation, do they begin to understand how they know or why they received the impressions. Whale medicine teaches us to use the sounds and frequencies that balance our emotional bodies and heal our physical forms. To recall why the shaman's drum brings healing and peace is to align with whale's message. The drum is the universal heartbeat and aligns with all beings heart to heart. All these talks of sound, frequency, and the drums, it could have to do with music that you're writing. Before the advent of speech and the primordial language, hand signs were used, and many tribes were silent most of the time. The language that was understood was the sounds of great spirits, other creatures, the animals. If you pulled the whale card, you are being asked to tap into these records and to allow yourself to be sung to those to asked to be sung to by those who have the original language. We are the only creatures who do not have our own unique cry or call. Find yours. Allow your voice to use this sound to release tension or emotion. Whale signals a time of finding your origins, of seeing your overall destiny as coded in your DNA, and of finding the sounds that will release those records. You may never be the same again. After all, you are the melody of the universe, and the harmony is the song of the other creatures. In using your voice to open your memory, you are expressing your uniqueness and your personal sound. As you open to this uniqueness, the animals that are your 9 totems may then send their sounds or calls to you or through you. This will open your personal records so that you may further explore your soul's history and commune with Whale, who carries the history of us all. So I mentioned whatever it is that you're creating may be written about, it may be recorded, so that could be music, or it could be the story you're telling, or the story of you. So Whale of mighty oceans, you have seen it all, secret of the ages, heard within your call. Teach me how to hear your words and how to understand the very roots of history of when our world began. Okay, so maybe that is part of your dharma, part of your life path, is to be the record keeper of humanity, of things that are going on right now, and the world changes. You're meant to use your voice in order to tell a different version of history than what the narrative is being promoted. So that is probably what is expanding. We open this reading with 2 Jupiter cards underneath. The expansion of not only your mind with the High Priestess card, reaching into the Akashic records. That's the portal that you can reach through meditation or sleep or your dreams. But you're expanding your voice as well. Your voice is going to reach more people. Okay. And revealing secrets there in the Moon and the High Priestess as well, like hidden, secret, forgotten knowledge. That's part of your journey. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Queen of the Moon Oracle. Purity, number 30, the snow moon. So this is a full moon. And underneath we have peace. Things are very white for you this month. Cleansing. Okay. Promoting peace and purity. When I think of the purity, it's like almost, the pure truth. It's not diluted or hidden, it's coming through clearly. Um, it's not cloudy, even though her eyes are covered in that sense, but she's not using her two eyes. She's using her third eye to see this clarity. Okay, so the look for the simplest and cleanest solutions, understand your motives for doing what you are doing, be as clear as possible in your communication. The mantra is, I know why I do what I do. The Cambridge Dictionary defines this kind of purity as being clean or free from harmful substances, and I guess in our world, so full of pollution and damage to the environment, that may well be hard to find. However, the ancients looked at the cycles that brought ice and snow as a sort of reset button, a time when everything lay fallow for a while and brought with it a kind of simplicity. These times were hard, but if we were prepared for them, we would survive. So it could speak of a financial winter, an emotional winter, physical one, depending on your location in the world. But there is a quietness and a peacefulness, that comes with the cleansing of a big snowstorm. There are good reasons to strive for a kind of positive purity in our lives. Being precise with our language and as clear as we can be in our communications means fewer miscommunications and misunderstandings in our relationship and work life. Keeping our intentions pure and untainted with lower energies such as jealousy, revenge, or unworthiness as much as possible means that our motivations are pure and not muddy in their reasoning. The companion stone or metal is clear quartz. So that's why I have it here. You could work with this. You could also, it does connect with the crown chakra as well. And it's still getting that need about it saying being as clear as you can with your communications. I know that's hard with Mercury retrograde, but as it goes direct in the second half of the month, you may find that things start to clear up for you. So working on that throat chakra and the crown. All right, let's take a look at an angels and ancestors card to accompany us here. The sage, be devoted and committed. There, he's holding a feather quill to write on that leaf. The record keeper, right? Like the whale. Sharing your wisdom, sharing their downloads. Underneath, we have be graceful in movement and action, like the praying mantis. Nice. All right. And because I was mentioning the crown chakra, I'm staring at this pile of the goddess guidance cards. There's a goddess that wants to contribute to this reading. Vast, independent. Your independence is a foundation of your strength and success. So again, getting that Leo energy, right? Underneath, Cordelia, go outside. You've been indoors too long. Go outside and get some fresh air. Okay, well, maybe you've been staring at books too long or screens too long or something like that. But don't forget to get outside, sit under a tree, breathe some fresh air. Let's take a look at your archetype card and your alchemy card. Well, the nectar wanted to make itself shown. 58. Also, we have the underworld underneath it. Did I mention things like coming out of the ether, coming from the depths, from the darkness? It's like pulling them through that void. All right, so 58 and 48. We'll read about the nectar because it came face up. Oh, but I mentioned the Scorpio lunar eclipse, and Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, who is the lord of the underworld. So the nectar I know is connected to that sage imagery though too. It's the medicine, the elixir, the garden. In Hindu mythology, there's a miraculous substance known as amrit or nectar that contains infinite healing power. This golden nectar or sacred elixir is the drink of immortality and is like its sister substance, soma, is known to activate subtle intelligent forces that ease the mind, body, and spirit. Though esoteric, these images lead us to the central energy of this archetype, the sweet, potent, heavenly essence that lubricates our spirit back to life. The nectar card calls us to identify and relish in places, practices, people, and activities that regenerate and heal. Medicine is needed. It comes in subtle form that you may be overlooking. Seek the most sensuous, fragrant flower in the garden you have forgotten. Don't underestimate this remedy. It is said that when someone has activated this substance within, it is reflected in their shimmering eyes. So I think also what they're talking about is the nectar of life, like the sacred secretion from the pineal gland that travels down our spinal column, um, and as it comes back up. And I think that message of purity here too is maintained, that if you abstain from either food or sex or alcohol or corrupting that um, energy center during the time of month when the sun or the moon is transiting the sign where your sun is. So if you were born with sun in Taurus and the moon is transiting Taurus for that 2.5 days a month, there's that time period where purity can help you achieve this kind of enlightenment where you're bringing that energy up from the sacral. That seed is reaching your pineal gland. So it can help clarify and open that up. So that could be the sacred nectar that they're talking about, the healing through purification. Let's see, the underworld then, number 48. The nightmare, the ordeal, the bottom. This is no time to mince words. The archetypal territory of the underworld is fraught with nightmares, suffering, and pain. It is the darkest shadow realm, which we try vigilantly to avoid or deny at any cost. Try as we might, the darkness pulls us into the depths through disturbing dream images, unexpected accidents, illness, war, conflict, and ultimately death. Not visiting the underworld or denying its existence altogether is what gives it dangerous power. Traversing its forces us to bow humbly to the greater forces that be, while summoning the inner strength we previously underestimated. Take solace that the underworld subsumes everyone from time to time, making us deeper friends, more intimate partners, soldiers of light amid our shadowy times. Facing darkness and choosing light is the most profound calling of all. So the side note says one of the earliest stories on record is that of the goddess Inanna's descent. Turns out descending into the underworld is as old as time itself. It's a myth of Persephone, also where she goes into the underworld. Pluto kidnaps her, and she eats 7 pomegranate seeds, and her mother is Ceres, so she stops the flowers from blooming, and that's where we get the season of winter and fall. And every spring, Pluto releases her from the underworld, and the flowers start to bloom again. So this whole descent into the underworld too is reflected in Jungian psychology, where they talk about the retreat into the cave. Joseph Campbell also talked about this in The Hero's Journey. It's a retreat, a journey within to conquer the shadow self, or integrate the shadow, as they say, by loving it, accepting it. And like I said, the more you ignore it, the more power it gains. But I don't think you're any stranger to this darkness, Pisces. You're the 12th house. You are water. You're the deepest waters. And that's why you're the most integrated soul, because you have the ability to tap into those depths that nobody else can reach. That's what makes you such a powerful sage and high priestess, and why you're so easily connected to the Akashic records and your past lives even. There's a lot of, Pisces has every skill, every bit of the zodiac in it. It's at the end of the wheel for that reason. So it's the most integrated. Okay. Moving on. We need to get an alchemy card for you. Because that's what you do. Your access to this darkness, it takes away its intimidation or power that it has over most people, and you use it as just another tool. You have the power to transmute it. Okay. These are still pretty new, so they stick together quite frequently. Let's see, this one fell out by itself. spring. Okay, well, I mentioned the myth of Persephone and the spring and how it returns after a period of darkness. So 17. Blossoming, becoming, the horizon. When spring arrives, our eyes lift from the work and we peer out the window of our laboratory. We realize Earth has been in its own transformation spin, readying itself for a new era of growth. In a state of wonder, the alchemist sets aside the work of winter and opens the door, stepping into spring. When this card arrives, it indicates a blossoming, a coming into one's own. It's generation time. You may be dreaming up a business plan, humming a new melody, or flirting with a special someone. Spring is the season of the east, where the sun rises and lights the world. You do not have to work on anything during this phase. Let the energy of the season push through. You made it through winter, and the bulbs burst on their own. That's so beautiful. Like we opened up with this whole analogy of creation, and things are ready to be birthed, and you could be writing music. It even mentions you might be humming a new melody, dreaming up a new business plan. I mentioned the communication perhaps with other people and making this happen. And even the Cordelia go outside and get some fresh air because the flowers are blooming. Go out and come out of your cave. It's time to emerge from the underworld and your seclusion. Even though it says Bast, your independence is the foundation of your strength and success. Yeah, it's the foundation, but it's not the whole tower. You can't enjoy a beautiful structure by just admiring the bricks under the earth. It doesn't make the whole building as beautiful as it is. All right. With all this talk of spring, I want to get a rose oracle for Pisces. The sacred waters, nourishment, replenishment, health, rest, self-care. Okay. Yeah, water your garden. I mean, that's what you're doing, though. You are. All right, underneath I was shuffling again. The Rose of Venus, alignment, flow, right relationship, and harmony. So there's that frequency, that resonance again, this harmonizing. Let's look at your alchemy cards, your making magic cards. Things are starting to harmonize. It's like tuning a guitar, on target. Follow your ideal path. Don't change a thing. Whatever you're doing, keep it up. I said you're getting to that point where things are coming into focus. Successful career, a happy working environment, pay rises and promotions. So you're doing what you love, whatever it is. Protection, strong protective magic for the family and the home. So yeah, again, I mentioned keeping things secret, keeping things close to your chest. Protect your creative license, your whatever it is that you're producing. And it will be a success. And then we have self-confidence, strong self-belief, and sense of worth. Yeah, that's definitely growing this month. That's another thing that's expanding with Jupiter, not just your knowledge or your production. And underneath we have Dragonfly. You bring light to the world. You sure do, and you're getting ready to share it. All right, let's wrap it up with a couple angel cards for Pisces. Can't wait to see what you're dreaming up. I already know it's going to be beautiful, but so do you. All right, so we have delight showing up. Yeah, something that's going to bring a lot of joy to a lot of people. Honesty. Yeah, it's nothing but the truth. I mean, you can't be anything but yourself, which is great because I think you're doing that. Acceptance. Yeah, people are going to welcome you into their reality. In all your creations, they want you to be a part of their world. Balance. You certainly have achieved that. Working with both elements of dark and light and abundance. There you are. Well, your great work is going to be successful. It's going to bring you a lot more than I think you could ever imagine. All right, I hope you enjoyed this reading, Pisces. If so, let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, take care, and we will see you next time. Bye.